You're somewhere between 50 and 60. You've got less saved than you think you should. And the question you keep coming back to, the one you maybe don't say out loud, is it already too late? Here's what I want you to hear right now. According to the Federal Reserve's most recent survey of consumer finances, the median retirement savings for Americans aged 55 to 64 is just $185,000. You are not uniquely behind. You are in the majority. And here is what that actually means. The decade you're in right now, your 50s, has more retirement building leverage than any decade before it, more tax advantages, more earning power, more legal tools that literally did not exist for you at 35. In the next 13 minutes, we're going to walk through 6 specific moves that people in your exact situation are using to change their retirement trajectory. Not vague advice. Specific tools with real numbers behind them. Let's go. Supercharge your contributions. The catch-up rules are bigger than you think. Let's start with the single most powerful tool available to people your age. It's the IRS catch-up contribution rule, and most people in their 50s are not using it to its full potential. Here's how it works. In 2025, the standard 401k contribution limit is $23,500. But once you turn 50, the IRS lets you contribute an additional $7,500 on top of that. That brings your total to $31,000 per year inside a 401k alone. That's according to the IRS directly, and those numbers are in effect right now. But here's where it gets better. Congress passed a provision inside Secure 2.0, and this one is new. That creates what's called a super catch-up for ages 60 through 63. If you hit that window, your additional catch-up amount increases to $11,250 instead of $7,500. That's a total of $34,750 you can put into a 401k in a single year. On the IRA side, the 225 contribution limit is $7,000, with an extra $1,000 catch-up for people 50 and older, bringing it to $8,000. Now, I know what you're thinking. You might not have $31,000 sitting around to invest. That's okay. My take is this. Contribute the maximum your budget allows and increase that number every single year. Even getting halfway there, say $15,000 a year over 10 years at a 7% average annual return, produces roughly $207,000 in new savings. That math changes retirements. Your tax bracket matters here. If you're in a higher bracket, traditional pre-tax contributions lower your taxable income today. If you expect to be in a higher bracket in retirement, or if you simply want tax-free withdrawals later, Roth contributions are worth serious consideration. The right choice depends on your current versus expected future tax rate. So this is one of the places a fiduciary advisor earns their fee. The action is clear. Find out exactly what you're contributing today, compare it to the legal maximum, and close that gap as fast as possible. High-interest debt is a retirement killer. Eliminate it first. The second move builds directly on the first. There's no point accelerating your retirement savings if you're simultaneously paying 20% interest on a credit card balance. Here's why this is a retirement issue and not just a budgeting issue. The average credit card interest rate in 2025 is above 21%, according to the Federal Reserve. No diversified retirement portfolio is consistently returning 21% annually. Paying down high-interest debt is the highest guaranteed return available to you right now. The data is clear. Carrying significant consumer debt into retirement is one of the leading predictors of running out of money. A 2023 Employee Benefit Research Institute study found that workers who entered retirement with high debt levels reported significantly lower financial confidence and were more likely to resume working out of necessity. My approach is straightforward. List every debt by interest rate, highest to lowest. Attack the highest rate first while making minimums on everything else, the avalanche method. Once that debt is gone, redirect every dollar you were sending to that creditor straight into your retirement account. The caveat is, low-interest debt. A mortgage at 3% is not the same emergency as a credit card at 22%. The math doesn't support aggressively prepaying a 3% mortgage when that same money inside a tax-advantaged account is likely to earn more over time. Know the difference. Your home is a retirement asset. Audit it. This one surprises people. Your home is probably the largest asset you own, and depending on your situation, it can either be a powerful retirement tool or a significant retirement drag. Let's start with the equity side. According to the National Association of Realtors, the median homeowner who has owned their home for 10 or more years has substantial equity. In many markets, well over $200,000. That equity is working capital that most people treat as untouchable until death. That's a mistake. The IRS gives you one of the cleanest tax breaks in the entire code, Section 121. If you've lived in your primary home for at least 2 of the last 5 years, you can exclude up to $250,000 of capital gains from the sale, $500,000 if you're married, filing jointly. That's tax-free money, not tax-deferred, tax-free. Here's what this means practically. Some people in their 50s are living in homes that are larger and more expensive than they need. Downsizing, moving to a smaller home or a lower cost of living area, can do 3 things at once. It frees up equity you can invest. It reduces ongoing housing costs, which lowers the amount you need in retirement. And it often reduces your property tax and maintenance burden going forward. This is not a one-size-fits-all decision. Your family situation, your attachment to a community, your local real estate market, these all change the math. But the default move is to at least run the numbers. Most people have never actually modeled what a downsize would do to their retirement projection. Do that analysis. Build your Social Security strategy before you think you need one. This is the area I focus on most, Social Security and retirement decisions for the 50-plus crowd, and I want to spend real time here because the stakes are high. Here's the core fact. According to the Social Security Administration, for someone with average earnings retiring in 2025, the difference between claiming at 62 versus waiting until 70 is roughly 76% more in monthly benefits. That is not a rounding error. That is a fundamentally different income stream for the rest of your life. The break-even math is real. If you claim early, you get more checks but smaller ones. If you wait, you get fewer checks but larger ones. For most people, the break-even point, where waiting pays off, falls somewhere around age 78 to 82. If you live past that age, delaying was almost certainly the better financial decision. My take: if you're in reasonable health with average family longevity, delaying Social Security past 62 is the right default, especially to 67, your full retirement age, and ideally toward 70 if your income bridge allows it. The 8% per year increase you get for each year you delay past full retirement age is a guaranteed, inflation-adjusted return that no annuity or bond can match. But here's why your 50s are the right time to start planning this. The strategy you choose for Social Security is heavily influenced by your other income sources, your spouse's benefit if you're married, your health, and when you plan to stop working. Building that picture now, while you still have 10 or more years, means you can shape your other decisions around it, not the other way around. We're actually going to go deep on the exact dollar differences between claiming at 62, 67, and 70 in next week's video, because in 2026, inflation makes that decision even more consequential than it's been in years. Don't miss that one. Close the health coverage gap before Medicare. This is the move most people forget until it's almost too late, and it can be a retirement plan killer if you don't address it in your 50s. Medicare starts at 65. If you want to retire before 65, or if you get laid off in your late 50s, you face a gap in health coverage. That gap is expensive. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, the average annual premium for employer-sponsored health insurance in 2024 was $8,951 for single coverage and $25,572 for family coverage. If you're paying for that yourself on the open market through the ACA marketplace, your costs will vary significantly based on your income and your state. Here's what this means for your planning. Retiring at 60 with no employer coverage means 5 years of self-funded health insurance. At current market rates, that could easily represent $50,000 to $100,000 in out-of-pocket costs, money most people don't factor into their retirement number. The right move here is threefold. First, find out exactly what your employer coverage costs and what it would cost to continue it under COBRA or replace it through the marketplace. Second, if you have access to a high-deductible health plan, maximize contributions to your health savings account, or HSA, right now. In 2025, the HSA contribution limit is $4,300 for individuals and $8,550 for families, with an extra $1,000 catch-up for those 55 and older, according to the IRS. HSA money rolls over, grows tax-free, and can be used for Medicare premiums and out-of-pocket costs after 65. It is a stealth retirement account that most people underuse. Third, build the cost of that coverage gap into your retirement income projection explicitly. Don't assume you'll figure it out later. Build an income bridge, not just a balance. The last move is a mindset shift, and it might be the most important one. Most people think about retirement savings as a single number, a balance. I need SS. But a balance without a distribution strategy is just a number on a screen. What actually funds your retirement is income, monthly cash flow that replaces your paycheck. Here's what the research shows. According to Vanguard's How America Saves report, a common rule of thumb is that retirees need to replace roughly 70 to 90% of their pre-retirement income to maintain their lifestyle. For a household earning $80,000, that's $56,000 to $72,000 per year from all sources: Social Security, savings withdrawals, pensions, part-time work, rental income, or any combination. The power of your 50s is that you can build multiple income streams now that converge in retirement. Social Security is one leg, your retirement accounts are another, but smart people in their 50s are also thinking about a third leg, an income bridge. That might mean keeping a part-time consulting arrangement in the first years of retirement to delay Social Security and reduce the withdrawal rate on savings. It might mean a rental property, a small business, or a deferred income annuity you fund now and activate at 70 or 75. The specific vehicle matters less than the principle. Don't rely on a single stream. Here's the concrete math. If you can generate $2,000 per month from part-time work or a side income for just the first 3 years of retirement and use that to delay Social Security from 67 to 70, you could add $400 to $600 or more to your monthly Social Security benefit for life. That compounding effect over a 20 or 25-year retirement is worth 6 figures. The income bridge pays for itself many times over. Your health, your skills, and your risk tolerance will shape which of these options fits your life. But the right move is to start building that picture now, in your 50s, not the month before you hand in your badge. One more thing before you go. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. This is general education, not personalized advice. Consult a fiduciary before acting. That said, here's the summary. The 6 moves are: maximize catch-up contributions, eliminate high-interest debt, audit your home as a retirement asset, build your Social Security strategy early, close the health coverage gap, and build income streams instead of just a balance. These are not abstract concepts. They are legal, proven, and available to you right now. If this video gave you something useful, subscribe to the channel. We cover Social Security, retirement income, and late start strategies every week. And the next video is one you don't want to miss. We're going to show you the exact dollar difference between claiming Social Security at 62, 67, and 70 in 2026, and explain why inflation in the current environment makes that timing decision more important than ever. Is there a specific retirement question you're wrestling with? A tax situation, a social security scenario, a savings gap you can't figure out? Drop it in the comments. I read them, and I build upcoming videos around what this community actually needs to know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.